Hey my friends, welcome back. Today, I've got lots of stuff I got to show you guys still. There's all sorts of projects on the go. But today, I want to introduce you to two new critters. They're critters that are new to you, but they're not critters that are new to here, the realm Natura. I'm going to introduce you to my two new friends. I have a beautiful pair of these animals. Today we're going to set up their enclosure. Today was cleaning day. We're going to go and reset their enclosures. I thought it'd be a perfect time to introduce you to Pickle and Petunia. All right, I guess first up is Pickle. Pickle is a blue-tongued skink. But this is not just a regular blue-tongued skink. Now, blue-tongued skinks are endemic to Australia, New Guinea, as well as many of the smaller little islands. And this particular one, Pickle, is a K Island or Key Island blue-tongued skink. They still have that characteristic blue tongue, which I'm sure we'll see, maybe not right away. But Pickle is an absolutely gorgeous green and brown. He looks like he's probably just about going into shit. He's a little bit dull right now from what his normal color is. Or he might be just a little bit freaked out because he's like, hey, what are you doing? Leave me alone. And here is Petunia. Now Petunia, she's not as much for being handled. And blue-tongued skinks, I'm not really a fan of handling most of my animals. But she is massive. And there's her little tongue. Gonna stick it out? No? But she is absolutely gorgeous, and she's just in the middle of a shed right now. So that's part and parcel of why we won't get her cage all cleaned up. But look at the striking colors of these animals. They are absolutely gorgeous. And blue-tongued skinks are relatively easy to take care of. As long as the conditions are met, they make an exceptional specialty reptile pet. Now, they're really, really cool. So let's go and take a peek at getting their cage set up. We'll see what we can do. All right, the cage in question that we use, this is where Pickle and Petunia, they definitely do not need the height, but I like to use the enclosures that I have, and I like to make them as enriching as possible for the animals. So I just did kind of a quick little spot clean of the enclosure, topped up some of the media and so forth, gave it just a quick clean and kind of wipe down and stuff. This is actually a used cage. This is a cage that I've had for a few years. It's been recycled for a few animals over the different years. It has a fold-down acrylic door. It's a bit messed up, a bit scratched up and stuff like that, but for all intents and purposes, it works very, very well. The ventilation, as you see on the bottom left there, is actually on the lower quadrant, and to me, down the road, I might take that panel off and reverse it and put it up top. Because to me the ventilation should be at the top. This one here, as it is right now, some of my bioactive creatures and stuff like that can come in and go out of that vent. So we do have access with isopods and things like that that have somehow integrated into several of the other enclosures. But let's go and put this on a time lapse and let's go and get it all set up for them. So as this species, this is a subspecies I mentioned. This is the one that comes from K Island, so it's keyensis. But these particular animals are very, very adaptable. So not only, does the blue-tongued skink generally hail from Australia and New Guinea, they inhabit a lot of diverse habitats. So they can be found in forests, they can be found in scrublands, and some of them can be found in deserts. This one here I tend to keep in kind of a mixed habitat. So you saw me placing those few big rocks there first. At the back, those end up being kind of like heat sinks because I'm heating this enclosure with a large radiant heat panel. And that gives me the absolutely perfect temperature gradient for me. And that turns on during the daytime, stays on all day, and then it turns down off at night and drops down. And then we are also offering some LED light, a T5 LED light from Arcadia. We've got that beautiful, gigantic hollow piece of tree bark. Makes for an incredible, not only for a climbing structure, but also an incredible hide for them. And if you would have saw me, just below that leaf there and over there, there's nice little openings and spaces for them to come and go. This space here is generally what I usually reserve for my feeding dish. We just got them the brand new water dish there. I love this water dish. It's all nice and smooth on the inside, like a nice smooth depression. There's no sharp edges whatsoever. Then we added just a nice old stump and some nice little bit of leaf litter. So overall, this is pretty much the perfect habitat for these guys. All right, Pickle, what do you think? Cleaned up your house for you? There you go. And you can see by the shape of them, they're perfectly adapted for living on the ground, perfectly adapted for burrowing with that shovel-like head, smooth scales. So he's going to burying directly under that moss. You see a little bit of movement by the cork bark there. Come on. You're going to just go and hide on us completely right now? That's it? Where's my girl? Come here. And you can see Petunia is decidedly wider. She's been this way pretty much since we got her. And I got this incredible pair of animals from my dear friends over at Port Credit Pets. I've gotten several animals from them over the years, and they've been nothing but absolutely exceptional quality. Incredibly great shipping. They ship right across the country. Where are you going, Petunia? Petunia is not as outgoing. The really cool thing about them down the road is that this pair is nice and bonded. And down the road, we hope to have some offspring. And they produce live birth. There's Petunia back there already. Gonna warm up a little bit. Because you see some of the bioactives running around because we've disturbed everything. And that's one of those. So those nice little two rocks, those flat rocks I placed there, they act like good heat sinks for that heat panel that is directly above it there. But she might be pregnant. Don't really know. I'm going to just leave her be and let nature's take its course. Did you do the job there, Pickle? We can still see you. You're not invisible, Pickle. You're right here. We can still see you. I got your tail. But I think they're absolutely fascinating animals. Now, as far as dietary requirements, these animals are a scavenger. They're going to live on the ground. As I say, they may climb around on some of the structure in here, but you're never going to see one of these up in a tree. But they're going to be opportunistic. They are truly omnivores. So they're going to eat all sorts of different vegetables, leafy vegetables and stuff like that. Tomatoes are one of their favorites. This stuff here is a protein source. This is actually just cubes of extra firm tofu. You can see that we got different types of spinach. But some of their absolute favorite foods are such things as these. So I've got some night crawlers in here. I've just rinsed everything off and cleaned it all off. And then these are apple snails. So snails are huge. They have those big spade-shaped heads so they can go in turn crush up the shells and stuff. So we do make sure we're adding a lot of different things. I've also often gone and used quail eggs or even eggs off of our farm where I'll hard boil them, and then when I crush them up, I crush the whole thing up entirely. And even the shells, I often put them in what's like a mortar pestle, and I just crush them up, and I add it right back to their diet because that's something that they would have. So I'm just going to go and add some different supplements to this, but I like to use good quality vitamins. Brand, honestly, for me, it doesn't really matter. I've used Repassia, I've used Arcadia, I've used Repcal, I've used all of them. And then when it comes down to for different types of supplements, this one I've taken out. This is a full spectrum minerals and vitamins. This is Arcadia. I just take it out of the pouches. It just makes it easier for me. And then a good quality calcium source. Now, another thing that I just saw when I was at one of my local stores, and I'm not certain if it's new or not, I apologize, is this one here is this product from Repassia, and they call it Bluey Buffet. So basically, it's another thing it's a gel formula. You're going to make it yourself. But when you look at the ingredient panel, it's a real solid base of nutrition for the animals. It's got some insect larvae and stuff. I have also given them, because we culture the discoid roaches, I also have gone and I often take them when I have lots of them, and I'll just freeze them by the cupful, and then I've often used them. Only reason being is I don't offer them live, is I don't want them escaping through some of those holes. Usually this is the quick way to get Pickle and Petunia out. The minute that I start putting some of this stuff out, they're out here usually right away. Well, look who's decided to come out. Big surprise. Hello, Pickle. What do you think? You checking it out? You can smell it, can't you? You can smell those delicious treats. They're right there. Where's your girlfriend? Why don't you bring her out on a lunch date? So blue-tongued skinks are generally, as you can tell, they're diurnal. So they're out in the daytime, they're out in the evening. You know, they've got those very, very long, heavy torpedo-shaped body, that heavy, heavy head shape, the large muscular jowls. You can see by the musculars of those giant muscles behind the eyes there. You know, the short, stout, heavy legs. They're meant for being on the ground, and they can pull themselves through almost anything. Now this particular one from the, as I mentioned, they come from Australia, New Guinea, and so forth, but this one comes from the Key Island. The Key Islands is in that arpeggio, which is the Indonesian islands. Stretch all the way down almost to Australia. And this one's a little bit smaller than some of the other species. And the male's head shape's decidedly smaller than the females. But they are absolutely stunning animals. And here we go. Pickle comes in for his first little taste. And as I mentioned, he absolutely loves those snails. Variety's the absolute key, offering all sorts of different types of fruits and vegetables. Tofu's a great source of protein. I eat earthworms. There he is eating a carrot right now. While Petunia watches guard. As mentioned, they're pretty much like garbage cans. They never pass up an opportunity to eat. They make absolutely fascinating and rewarding specialty pets. But with that comes a great level of responsibility, because they trust us to provide everything that they are going to need if they are to thrive. So we hope you enjoyed today's video. So from Pickle, Petunia, and myself, till next time, my friends, take care.